We will now hear the case of Bruce Trevor. All rise for the judge, Jane Bick.
Good morning, everybody. You may sit down. We will now hear the case of Bruce Trevor. Will the plaintiff lawyer, Claire O'Connor, please make his opening statement to the jury?
Your Honor, member of the jury, I'm Claire O'Connor, the lawyer of the plaintiff, Bruce Trevor. Mr. Trevor is now here to claim justice for the bad impact of what happened in his childhood on his life. When he was still a baby, he was taken away from his family because of a racial discrimination. We also have the letters his mother and the hospital exchanged, and it's the exhibit number 1. May I show you, Your Honor?
Yes. Thank you.
What they say is that Bruce was still sick, whereas he was in his foster family. The guilty here is the government, and he have to compensate the lack of preoccupation of his mistake with a financial compensation. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire O'Connor. Will the defense lawyer, Sidonie Dover, please make his opening statement to the jury?
Your Honor, member of the jury, I'm Sidonie Dover and I'm the government's lawyer. First of all, I want to make a point. I represent the current governments, the one who stopped the Aborigines Board. I don't represent the one of 1957 that doesn't exist anymore. I'm working for a government that does not support Mr. Neville's program anymore and that cannot be indicted for his crimes. The plaintiff right here has been sent to the hospital on December the 25th of 1957 because of strong stomach aches. The neighbor who brought him to the hospital told the Dr. Harry Atford right here that he was mistreated. All the qualified health team inspected 13-month-old Bruce Trevor, and there is the exhibit number 1, the report of the hospital.
Thank you.
So the baby could not return to his family because he would have been treated in this bad way with inadequate living condition. Taking children away from their family because they have been treated badly is a situation that can happen in both black or white families. It is not a racist treatment. And I have here the exhibit number 2, the social government record of 1957 that can prove it. It is a proof that they were not able to be responsible parents. That is all, Your Honor.
Thank you, Sidonie Dover. The plaintiff lawyer, Claire O'Connor, may now call her first witness.
I will first call Mr. Trevor.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please, present yourself and tell us what happened when you were a child.
My name is Bruce Trevor, and I am 52 years old. I live in Sydney, and I have not a job. When I was 13 months old, I had been taken away from my family, and a white family adopted me. I never saw my mother before my 10 years old, and when I saw her, it lasted only 14 months. Then, during my adolescence, I was living in an institution, and it was horrible. A lot of people were racist and nasty. I think that it was the hardest experience of my life.
At the age of 10, you were reunited with your mother. What made this gathering didn't work?
I think it was very shocking because I never saw her before, and it was very shocking.
What are the consequences on your life now?
Now I'm an alcoholic and I'm a depressive guy.
Thank you. That's all, Your Honor.
Thank you.
According to the Social Government Record of Australia, in 1957, 1,342 white children have been taken away from their family to be placed in foster families. Do you still think that you suffered from racism?
Objection.
Sustained.
Those cases cannot be compared to ours because Bruce Trevor had no adoption paper.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Bruce Trevor. The barrister of the government may now call her first witness.
I call Harry Atford.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Harry Atford, please present yourself and tell us what happened.
Good morning, my lord. I am Harry Atford, and I am a qualified doctor. I am the one who analyzed baby, Bruce Trevor, and I nursed him until he left the hospital.
Please, can you explain how did the baby came to you and how he was?
On Christmas 1957, and I distinctly remember it, we were a few number of staff because everyone were in holidays. A white man came to me with Bruce, the baby. He said he was neighbor of Bruce's parents, who could not bring him to me because they were too poor to have a car. He also said the baby was mistreated and malnourished. As I examined him, I saw that all of what he said was true.
Do you affirm that Bruce Trevor's parents were unable to take care of him?
I don't know that, but I can tell they couldn't give him the food and nutrient a baby needs to grow up right and be healthy. In fact, malnutrition leads to physical and sometimes mental problems. The first 1,000 days of child's life are the most important because poor nutrition can have irreversible consequences for growth and health, like mental sequelae.
So, do you affirm it is possible that Bruce Trevor's mental issues were caused by his malnutrition?
Yes, it is clear to me.
Thank you, Harry Atford. That is all, Your Honor. The defense rests.
So the letters show that you lied. Did you lie?
Yes, this is. Yes, I do. This question is inappropriate for me because my job it is to be a doctor. I am not responsible for the communication and administration of the hospital.
How can you explain that the other siblings of Mr. Trevor have a healthy life, even if they had a native education?
As I said, not every child reacts the same to malnutrition. These issues can be different.
And finally, there wasn't any adoption paper. How can you explain this?
Objection.
Overruled.
That's all, Your Honor.
Thank you. We have heard the lawyers and all of the witnesses. The lawyers will now give the jury their closing arguments.
Now, we all know that the life of Bruce Trevor have changed the moment when the hospital had him adopted illegally and lied to his family about his health. It had an impact on his life. He is now an alcoholic in depression who cannot hold a proper job, while his brother and sisters have a normal life. I now let the jury decide. That's all, Your Honor. The plaintiff rests.
We proved that Bruce Trevor's mental issues are due to his biological parents because they had no ability to give him a healthy childhood. The hospital and Mr. Atford right here were in need to place him to another family. Admittedly, Mr. Trevor faced many difficulties when he was placed into the different foster families, but none of them were caused by the past government. It was caused by his non-healthy childhood given by the parents. Plus, the current government has nothing to do with this affair because, as I said, Mr. Neville's program has been abolished and is not approved anymore in Australia. Don't think that I support and approve Mr. Neville's policy. I definitely do not, and I never will. Therefore, what I want to add is that the Aboriginal Board was created at a time of ignorance, at a time where racism was not called racism, and at a time every Australian were not aware of the ability, the braveness and the highness of the Aboriginal people. And I think this lack of knowledge make of this cultural point an important piece of information to make any decision. That is all, Your Honor. I let the court deliberate the different races.
Thank you, Mrs. Ladies, gentlemen of the jury, you have heard all the evidences, and now it is time for me to decide who won. So, I carefully listened to every statement, and the court has deliberated. It is clear that Bruce Trevorrow's alcoholism and health problems are due to the way he has been treated and placed in different families during his childhood. Bruce's parents had the ability to feed their other children, who did not end like their brother. Everyone here can see that the Aboriginal board ruined Bruce Trevorrow's life. The problem is the current government do not apply it anymore. Nevertheless, it has a liability to pay to Mrs. Trevorrow, even if its past representatives are not here anymore. The government has been responsible for Mrs. Trevorrow's difficulty. The sentence is a fine of $100,000 Australian dollars.